I'm about to give you a strategy that will help you rebuild a dynasty or just make it unstoppable. No, it doesn't involve Kyron or Puka or Bucky per se. It's an example of what has happened using said strategy. This strategy is about trading for fab dollars. This strategy is about going and getting fab dollars in leagues that allow you to trade fab dollars. How do you know? You just propose a trade, scroll down to the bottom of someone's team, and on Sleeper, unless they turn the feature off, you can trade fab dollars in a trade. If you go acquire someone's $100 out of $100, you in turn have $200 to spend on fab. You will rebuild your team in ways that you can't do in draft or trade. It is the cheapest way to find Puka, to find Kyron, to find Bucky. All three were waiver wire fodder. And every single year, a player like that is available. And the key to rebuilding a dynasty might involve merely getting even $1 more fab money than everybody else in your league. To guarantee yourself when the time comes, and we'll prepare you on this channel to find and identify that player. When the time comes, you pounce on that player, doing an absolute full load drop. Initiate
full load drop.
Yeah. Full load drop on said player, and you got a Bucky. Achan was a waiver wire fodder. Puka, Kyron, Bucky, the list goes on and on. This can absolutely get you in a position that you might not have assets to get into. This is how you repair a dynasty team with no assets. This is how you add on and pile on top of an already amazing team. The Fantasy Football Show Dynasty Graveyard Edition begins right now. File on in, get ready to draft. Underdog, promo code Smitty. Link is in the live chat. Link will be pinned right now. If you want to draft tonight, this is the link that you want to hit. I'm going to pin it right now. Link's in the description of the video. If you are watching the replay, hit code Smitty. Do it live. Get your bonus credit. Get your extra pick. Get ready to draft. And yes, we're talking Dynasty right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. Now, some of you said my fab resets. No problem. Make a trade right when it resets. Go get even... You get $1, someone's going to see what you're doing, and they might go get $2. I'm literally trying to grab someone's $100. DMO says that his league has a 250 off-season fab that resets to 100 in season. So yeah, you want to go, once it resets to 100 in season, you want to go get that $100, or maybe it's 50 from this guy, 50 from this guy, whatever. But you want to be in a position that it's going to require someone to go out and get someone's full $100, which is probably not going to happen. There are not a lot of people that are going to do that. By the way, look at this hat. I finally cracked the hat situation. To anybody that's bought a hat that I've sold here on the channel, I'm not saying it's bad, but there have been a lot of hats we've gone through. Some of them are printed on, like it has the printed on the Fantasy Football Show. I've had the Bucky hat, has Bucky's face printed on, and those are okay. I'm not saying they're horrible, but I finally cracked and got the best hat, and I'm going to buy like 10 or 15 of these myself just to make sure I have them. These are embroidered. These are embroidered. You can see right there. They're actually embroidered. You can feel it. It looks really clear. It looks pretty damn awesome. It's fitted. They have the two sizes. The small medium is one size, and the L-XL is the second size. They are flex fit. Two sizes fit all. Logo on the left side, logo middle, and logo on back. Nothing on the right side if it's facing forward. Nothing on the right side facing forward. So this is blank. This is logo embroidered. And you can see how clean and cool that looks right there. Amazing backwards. Love the look of it, actually. Amazing frontward. Love the look of that as well. I feel like we cracked it. I feel like I finally have a hat that I'm absolutely 100% proud of. I'm not trying to price it to go through the roof or anything, but to get it embroidered, to get all of it flex fit, to get it, it is $34. Here's the link right here if anybody wants to grab this. Let me see here. Whoops. To grab this hat. Let me see if I can grab the link. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can grab the link. Here is the link. It also has the shirt. That is the Supernova shirt, which we're going to add one more Nova, but the Nova might not be on the shirt. The original 8 will be on the shirt. I might try and potentially make another one to add it, but for right now, the Nova shirt, these are all the Supernovas on the shirt. This is the front and back. It has the same design on the back, the same design on the front. It has the face logo on the right with the 8 p.m. Eastern, and it has the headphone logo on the other side. So that shirt and this hat are available at this link right here. So if anybody wants to purchase this hat, go have at it and support the channel. But mainly this is about just getting gear, getting a hat that I absolutely love, and the one that everybody else can sport around. Love it. Love this hat. I couldn't be more pleased. I have a bunch of hats that I'm like, yeah, like this Bucky hat. It's cool to have. Like it's a novelty to have Bucky's pixelated mug on this, but they are printed on, and it's still cool. It's nothing wrong with it, but it is printed on. It's okay. This is literally, and even this one, I've gone through a lot of them. This one I can provide a link to you. This is a snapback, but it is also, printed on, but it's still cool. Like it's still a pretty decent hat. This is embroidered. Gotta love it. All right, guys, let's talk about this strategy. What you're doing is, let's say whether it resets or not, you get $100 in your fantasy football league for fab. This is your fab. You get $100. You're trading for really $1 gets you in a position to where you have $101 to spend while everybody else has just 100. So you could essentially grab the top guy. You get the next Puka. You get the next Bucky. You get the next HN. But this is going to leave you vulnerable to somebody going, I see what you're doing. I'm going to go get $5 in the next trade. And no one cares about trading $5. Even if they know what you're trying to do, you give up $5, you give up 10, you give up 25. It's fine, but no one but you, if you're doing this, and the person that you're doing it with is going to surrender $100. It's going to be very rare to find someone. Everyone's got a little careful Caleb in their personality, and this just leaves people very uncomfortable. So the odds of you finding multiple people, especially after it's done and someone says, oh, you're not going to be able to pick up anybody, even though you can pick up free players once everybody's already gone through the waiver wire each, bid on it for $0. If it only allows you, if your waiver wire only allows you to bid $1, you can't bid $0, then you might have to leave, whatever, a couple bucks. I don't know. But for me, I'm going to go get someone's $100, add it to my $100, and I'm going to have $200, which I almost guarantee you that no one else is going to be able to acquire that much, especially after you make the move and everybody's on alert about it. Then it starts becoming a problem. The thing if you just ask for someone's $5, you can't even see that off screen. If you ask for someone's $5, it doesn't, they want to get a deal done, they're gonna probably throw it in. So yeah, fine, whatever. So I don't think someone could easily grab 5 if they see you grab 1. So the trick of the matter is getting that $200. It's going to be really hard to see anybody else also get the $200. And then if they do, they still got to go acquire $1 to get more than you, and you could go acquire $1. You're obviously a lot safer if you acquire 100 and then you go out and you get, before things get crazy, maybe you get someone to offer it up so you can hit accept on both of them at the same time. You get someone else's $50 and all of a sudden you got $250 out of 100. And people will start complaining and crying like little babies. They'll get mad at the commissioner. People will try to get it overturned. People are going to get so angry because you're going to control the market. And this happened in the Marsman League, I think it was. The Marsman League, where if someone acquired Fab, I won't even go through names. They acquired Fab and people didn't have a problem with it initially, then had a problem with it later. And anytime you can make a strategy within the confines of the rules that upset a league, it's working. It's doing damage. It's a lethal strategy. And I can promise you, I can almost promise you, there might be an anomaly year, but I can almost promise you that there will be a Bucky, or there'll be a Puka, And if it's not exactly Puka, think about all these names that were free players in a lot of leagues. Maybe not every one of your leagues. You could say HM was drafted in my league. Sure, you're special. You play in such a great Shark League, Steve. Great job. But in general, these guys were free agents, some of which were picked up even later in the year. There is always, every single year, you could look back, a gem, a monster, a pearl that you're finding just sitting there. And you can not only win a league off of it, you're getting a player that can help be the cornerstone of your team. And whether you have a 90 out of 100 type of team where people are like, this guy's going to be in the playoffs every year, he could win every league, you just level this up to being a 99 out of 100 in terms of your build. If you are a team that's ranked like in the bottom 4, you're 4th in the league, this move, getting a Bucky, getting a Kyren, getting a Puka Nacua, could turn you from the 4th worst team in the league to maybe, we'll just call this the 8th team then. The 8th best team in the league, straight up to like 2 or 3. This is such a understated move. It's kind of like my example earlier that you're trying to get into a rock concert, okay? And the tickets are sold out. Nobody can get in. Nobody has a shot to get in. You can't even buy scalper tickets. The tickets are sold out. No one's selling them. You're not even allowed to scalp them. So there's no way to get a ticket. Yet you decide you can go volunteer. Here's the stadium. There's all these people in there. Here's the stadium to the rock concert. Okay? You can go. Let's make it a field. You can go and volunteer to I don't know, set up or something, and then you get to stay inside the facility. And so now you're inside the facility. You found a cheat code to go to this impossible to go to concert because you thought outside the box. You decided you just walk straight in the front door. This is exactly that. There's no way to get an HN if you have no assets to do so. Your team sucks. Everybody got injured. It aged out. You had Christian McCaffrey and Henry. Nobody wanted to trade with you. Your quarterback is getting older. You're left with a guy like, Stafford, and he's going to age out. You can't get rid of him. You got no draft picks because you took over the team from some buffoon that ran it into the ground. There's no way to acquire Bucky, Puka, Kyren, or an Achan without detrimental effects to your team by, giving up assets to go get them. $100 of fab dollars. 100 fab dollars helps turn your team around in Dynasty. This is one of the most creative ways to rebuild that no one's going to talk about, no one's going to tell you about, and it can destroy relationships and win leagues and destroy leagues in some respects. You can laugh at that all you want, but it's moves like this that cause turmoil in a league. But it's like the tush push. I liken this to the tush push. This move is within the confines of the rules, and the people that don't know how to implement it will feel like it's the tush push. Oh, we don't know how to do this. Should we try it? Can we try it? We can't do it. Okay, we don't like it. If we can't do it, we want to rule it down. We want to rule it out. Let's overrule this. Let's take this out so no one can do this. This is likened and equal to the tush push in terms of creativity and everybody getting all bent out of shape like little babies because they can't do it. Once you do it, no one else is going to be able to do it. Everybody's looking out for it. It's like draft pick trading. I teach people how to draft pick trade. Trade a first rounder for a second and a third and then give someone back a 10th. Oh, that's a big deal. You're not going to have any depth, Smitty. If you do that, you do it again. I give up my second round pick. I get a third and a fourth. People are like, yeah, you're going to get rid of all your, you do it again. This is cheating. This is unfair. All of a sudden, people are getting pissed because you're doing things they don't know how to do. You're stepping outside the box, but you're within the confines of the rules. This can help you get a top 5 player at any one position. Just depends on who the breakout is. Maybe Jalen Milroe is the next Jalen Hurts, and he's on waivers because you didn't listen to me and pick him up. Maybe it's a receiver like, let's just call it, like what players, Kyren, Bucky, Puka, Achan, these were players that are similar in value right now. Not saying that these guys will turn into these guys, okay? I'm just trying to give you a valuation, a prospect valuation. Bucky, Puka, Kyren, and Achan as prospects were overlooked, okay? So that's my point here. There's the Pat Bryant, a Denver Bronco wide receiver, is at the level that these guys were at as prospects. Not saying Pat Bryant is the guy, but this would be an equivalent of what player is Smitty talking about? Everybody close your eyes. I want everybody to spit out at least one player that they believe is the most unlikely to people all around. That's what these guys were. They were unlikely suspects to become Bucky, to become Puka, to become Kyron, to become Achan. Everybody spit out one rookie or a player in general that you believe has the ability to be one of these guys, and people will laugh at it because they aren't that player yet. Brashard Smith is an excellent example. Pat Bryant is an excellent example. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is an excellent example. Jalen Milroe, Shedeur Sanders, excellent examples. Harvey doesn't count. My boy, he's not a free agent. What are you talking about? Nick Nash, perfect example. Those are all names that you got to think about, that you're going to walk into 2025. No one's going to draft, or a majority of leagues, no one's going to draft one of these guys. Mason Taylor, he could be the next Gronk. Sure, that could be one of them. Arroyo, that could be the next Gronk no one knows about. Harold Fannin Jr. is one of my favorites. Manungai, yep, the rookie running back for the Chicago Bears. What if he ends up being a top 5 running back? Jaden Blue, good one, Travis. He'll probably get drafted a little bit more than all those names, but it's certainly possible. Those guys are the ones you have to think about. Who could be one of these monsters? And who's going to get him? The highest bid. Who's going to get him? The full load dropper.
Initiate full load drop.
Let's take some phone calls before we jump into an underdog draft. Again, to get ready for the underdog draft, the link is dropped in the live chat. It's pinned. I'll drop it one more time. Coach Smitty gets it done as well. Here's the link right now. It's also pinned, like I said. Let's open the phone lines up and discuss who is going to maybe be the full load drop. Predict the player. I'd love to hear a couple cases. Maybe we can avoid needing to pick them up, right? We start talking about a player enough. I think Brashard Smith's a perfect example. Manungai, the running back for the Bears, perfect example. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt and Harold Fannin Jr. I'm trying to beat a dead horse and sound the alarm on those two so that no one has to spend fab dollars. Let's be the people that draft these players first and foremost. Okay, that's the goal. That is the total goal of what we're trying to accomplish. But in that, there will be, almost guaranteed, even going to slip by me, you, and all of us, somebody that is worth a full load drop that can transform a dynasty league, win a league even in year one. Travis, you're live?
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah, just thinking back, I just went back to check on different guys that ended up being pickups. Not every, like you said, every league is different. Not every league where people draft. I mean, a lot of people drafted Jefferson and T. Higgins, but they also dropped them because their first 2 weeks they did nothing. And that's another thing too, is people quit on rookies fast in the first 2, 3, 4 weeks. So you keep an eye out for that.
Hold
Garrett
on
Wilson.
Hold on 1 second. Let me merge DJ in. Yeah. Keep in mind that Travis is right. There are some cases where a player was drafted but then cut. You know, go ahead, Travis. What players come to mind? You know, looking at it besides these four: Bucky, Puka, Kyron, Achan. Everybody drop somebody in the chat that you believe was at this level. Don't drop RJ Harvey's as predicting players. That's not somebody that's gonna slip. But give me a list of players that did slip past people, and I'm gonna look at a dynasty ranking right now on thefantasyfootballshow.com. You guys make sure you get on over to my thefantasyfootballshow.com. I'll drop that link in the live chat right now. It's in the description of every video. This is my content site: rankings, bold predictions, trade calculators, all of that goodness over on thefantasyfootballshow.com. This is where I started 23 plus years ago, did radio, and had this content, which is still a bread and butter staple of the brand. But if I go over to my thefantasyfootballshow.com rankings, who was a free agent at some point? I'm glancing through Dak Prescott at quarterback. I would say hard to say at QB. I might be missing somebody.
Herbert and Lamar.
Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner. First of all, I mean, I know that's not a current player, but that might be the best player in the history of quarterbacks. Tom Brady, Kurt Warner, Tom Brady were both, and Kurt Warner was such a fantasy monster. Not to say that Tom Brady wasn't, but in a certain, from a certain angle, you could say Kurt Warner was the biggest quarterback monster. Culpepper, I guess, in some regards. Arian Foster. And I called that on NBC Sports Radio. LaShawn McCoy was drafted by a lot of people, but Arian Foster was not. But LaShawn McCoy was another guy that was going really late. He was a rookie, didn't exactly crush it, so you would have, potentially picked him up. But it was the next year, LaShawn McCoy and Arian Foster both were going about 4 to 7 round territory. Victor Cruz, some of you guys have followed me for a while. Victor Cruz was one. Arian Foster, Kurt Warner, Tom Brady, Wes Welker.
Lamar Jackson was a big one.
Yeah.
I know some people drafted him, but he didn't start until halfway through the season.
Yeah.
Not everyone drafted Justin Herbert either, because he was supposed to start the year. Taylor got that needle to his ribs or whatever it was.
Come on, bro.
Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson.
Was Garrett Wilson was he overwhelmingly a free agent?
At the time, he was in a couple of my leagues. He was there because I don't think it took him a few weeks, right?
Okay, so
I don't think he went off right away.
These are a couple of really good ones that people are throwing out. David Johnson.
Garrett Wilson hit a wall after week 2.
Yeah.
A bunch of people dropped him. I guess that would be an in-season drop.
Warner, Brady, Ryan Grant. I don't think RG3. I don't remember how drafted he was.
Peyton Hillis. 1 year.
I mean, the list goes on and on. Point is, guys, this is not a Mickey Mouse strategy. I'm telling you, this is just one of those things that I don't think people look at. I don't think they think this deeply about stuff. And to be honest, I do it, and Travis can attest to that. There's always kinds of, fab things that we talk about in leagues. Like, it's certainly, in the mindset, but it's not something that you like, that even, that even you talk about. And I think talking about it hammers home the importance of it more than you realize, just subconsciously. Like, everyone knows you can trade for fab, but does anybody trade for fab on the mission of dropping all of it so that no one can take the upcoming player we're predicting to explode when the time comes? I don't think people are looking at it like that. Why do you keep saying Pacheco in the chat, Jeremy? Why? Is that you willing him to come back to life? Because that's not going to happen, my boy. Not to the.
I think he's naming him as a guy that got picked up. He was an oddball though. He was like huge waiver wire guy, but then they didn't play him, so he kind of languished for a little. Then they did play him.
Yeah. Let me go over to DJ, who's live. DJ, what's up, my boy? You're live.
What's going on, team? Great topic. I was just thinking maybe Terrell Davis might be in one of those, but in terms of that fab strategy, love that idea. And as you were speaking and laying everything out, I just can't help but think about the players that I've dropped. And, I was one that dropped Ashan last year in a redraft league. So I can't help but think about not being that person to drop that player, being steadfast in your draft picks. When do you want to drop them?
Yeah, if you weren't watching this show at that point, I promise you wouldn't have dropped them. But
no, if I'm trying to figure out why I'm late, but I'm here now, my man.
Yeah, we got you. But yeah, I mean, so again, players that I think fit the bill for, and this is not really, it could be a show about both. Who was who was the guy that was worth this move. We've got a list on here: Kurt Warner, Brady, Foster, David Johnson, Bucky, Puka, Kyron Achan. The list goes on and on and on. Peyton Hillis. We got a lot of them. But, we could just mention, like I said, who are some players that fit the bill for the upcoming, week one on.
Well, I'm going to make an argument for Savion up in Green Bay.
Okay.
Packers, I know they have Lloyd up there, but the Packers didn't put any capital in terms of the running back position. Savion is, I think, like a utility knife. And I just think from a standpoint of getting touches as well as running the ball, I think he could outproduce, was it Golden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Savion a lot. He's such a Deebo Samuel. I really wanted him to go to Adam Peters in Washington just because I think he would have understood the assignment. And hopefully the Green Bay, the only thing that scares me about Green Bay is that I just don't know if they know. I mean, they drafted him. You'd think they do, but I don't know. It scares me that we won't really know if they're going to use him properly. But he's so free. He's free. So it's not like you're risking anything. You're just taking your last spot. Even in leagues where you've got two or three practice squad spots, he's still available in a lot of those leagues still. So there's no risk at all of him costing you anything, that you lose something. But it sucks to know that it's in Green Bay's hands. But we'll see. Maybe this is what they needed, and they cling to him. I like Savion a lot. I like Savion probably a little more than Golden myself too, in terms of just upside with the skill set that he has. And that's going to piss a lot of people off. I get there's a lot of Golden fans, but Golden hasn't proven anything really to me. So so strategy, trade for all of someone's fab dollars. So just so everybody knows what the assignment is, let me put that on screen. So on the left of the marker board, we've got players, not all of them, just players that really fit the bill for how you could, if you would have done this the years that those guys, like Kurt Warner, it was very evident how good Kurt Warner was right away. And so had you done this and you felt, you look at everybody's fab dollars, right? You trade for someone's 100, as stated right here. You trade for all their fab dollars. And then if you look around the league and you're smart, you only need to drop the 101 if no other person's done even remotely close to what you've thought of doing, and they all have $100. Some people have 99 because they've spent it already. Whatever, it all resets for week one. However your process works, but if you've got 101 and no one else says 101, then you can save the rest of it for the rest of the year and drop 101. So these guys fit the bill for people that would have turned your dynasty team around or won it for you. Upcoming guys, like I said, Krosky Merritt, so JCM. Fannin is one that I love a lot. We had Milrow. I'm going to run out of room, so I'm going to leave Savion off because I don't necessarily have him in my top 10 of this category, but Savion's a nice choice. I like that addition. Noah Bokas or Kyle Williams, those guys are all
I went over.
Way
or
over.
Restrepo, either one of them.
Restrepo is definitely
I went over Restrepo.
Yeah, those two are available. Besh won't be available. Pat Bryant was one that I said. So Pat Bryant, he'll be available in a lot of leagues. Shadur. Manungai. I think that's how you say it.
I think Royals would get drafted in most leagues.
I think you can put Royals on here because I think he's probably 50-50. Tesla, he's worth the conversation, but I won't put him on here just because, he's so far away from that number one role. It's hard to imagine, but it's possible for sure. You look at running backs like, I'm scanning down. Yeah, Hunter. Yeah, because if Kyron suffered a career-ending injury or a season-ending that hampered his next year, Hunter's for sure So this is Jarquez Hunter, obviously not. So Jarquez Hunter, and they're so excited to get him. You know, so he's got a role. Hunter, Giddens maybe. Yeah, Blue's gonna be drafted a little more than not, but Blue's definitely similar to Royals, I think. So yeah, Blue and Royals we'll just mention, but they're probably gonna be drafted a little bit more than the average player that we're talking about here. So Hunter.
What about Tootin?
He's drafted in almost every draft. There's no way. That's not even. Yeah, he's not even close to being.
I think it would take an injury, but if something happened to Chase Brown, I think Todd Brooks does pretty well. That
Jordan James, Jordan James. James. Those are all players. So the exercise we're doing here is to preemptively try not to be the guy that has to even do it because we'll own him. I mean, there's a lot more. I'll do a video on this. Who could be the next Puka, Kyron, Achan, and we'll go through the whole gauntlet. And it doesn't have to be rookies. It could be Roshan Johnson. It could be you believe that Tyrone Tracy will flip the script and go back to what he was doing last year. It could be Sean Tucker if you think, it could be anybody you want. It'll probably be a younger guy that had 1 year under his belt that didn't deliver like Kyron did his rookie year, or it'll be a rookie. It'll probably be somebody that's at least in their rookie year or their sophomore year. It's just kind of the nature of how this works and how people break out. I think some might say Devin Neal. I don't think he's worthy of the top 10 on this. Woody Marks would, like, the thing about it is there's a really good chance that even I don't see this player coming. Not to say I know better than any of you. I'm not trying to say it like that, but I am embedded in this stuff enough to like try and cover all these bases that no one's necessarily trying to do as a profession. So I do believe I will probably have touched on the player at some point, but we might let them slide out of acquiring them on draft day, and they're more of a monitor type player. Example, Woody Marks. We mention Woody Marks all the time, but are we all drafting Woody Marks? No. He's kind of in, observe mode, because if Mixon goes down, he's the guy. So the player that looks the most like Bucky, Puka, Kyron, Achan is the one that doesn't look the most like it at a glance, right? Just like Tom Brady running his 40 with his shirt off, and everyone just turned and said, "Hey, did you have that Cobb salad earlier? That was pretty good." And Tom just runs right by, and no one even gives a shit. It's like, who is that lazy guy that just ran right by us? Are you the ball boy? Like, what are you doing out here, bro? So Marks fits the bill a little bit. Hunter fits the bill. Manungai fits the bill. Shadur, I mean, he's going to be so doubted. These Pat Bryant, Marquise Colston type of, potential, maybe not. No one's saying these guys are locks. Fannin, that is like the Laporta or greater potentially from this draft. Jordan James, love the kid. Cuffham to Garendo, it's fantastic. But this is a good group here. JCM probably gets drafted a little bit more than the rest of these guys, especially when we're done with it. But he still is available in a lot of leagues. I picked him up. Travis picked him up. We were talking about the other night. He picked him up in a league, and I picked him up in a league just like a couple days ago. So and that was not the craziest league that was like really small benches. Everybody's got practice squad players, and Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt's sitting out there. And he is traditionally available in like the third and fourth round of a draft. So unless you go 5 rounds deep, he's going to be available. So he does fit the bill here. He's just a little bit more drafted than the rest. But this crushes, man. This absolutely crushes. I'm so excited about this strategy. Not that I haven't implemented it myself many times, but just talking about it, because we don't talk about this. We should be. I should have been talking about this last year because I do it. We're going to get back to more of this. This will be more of, I don't want to say this is psychology in fantasy football episode, but kind of is like outthinking your league, outsmarting your league with some deep strategy. This is the tush push in fantasy football strategy form. This is the tush push. This is the maneuver that people will laugh at, just like I'm sure they laughed at the tush push. What, you're going to push him? You're going to push his tush? Oh, yeah. You're pushing his. Wait a minute. This is working. Let's try it. We can't do it. Okay, let's ban this thing. Let's ban this thing like a bunch of babies. So that's really what it is. That's really what's going on here. This is the strategy version of the tush push, and your league's going to hate it. Your league's going to hate it. It's going to hate me. It's going to hate all of us here. Let's jump into a Superflex puppy draft. How do you get there? You go to Underdog. The link is in the live chat. It's pinned, and it's also in the description. And if you open up Underdog, always have it ready when we're doing a live stream. Click the Originals tab, and at the top, you're going to select NFL or just slide over until you see Superflex $5 puppy. Superflex $5 puppy, $5 draft. These will fill quickly. There's 2 spots left in mine. It's gone. It's okay. Join anyway. Join anyway, and let's implement strategy while we're talking. In some cases, it's even better if you're in a separate draft so you don't get as much snipage. Or a lot of you are together in a draft, and you can discuss everything. Let me pull up my active drafts. It is counting down right now as we speak. Superflex. I got the freaking 10 pick. I don't like the 10 pick in Superflex. Gosh dang it. Why do I get the 10, 11, 12 all the time, even in Superflex?
This would be a good way to show people how to build from the late first and the Superflex.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to drop so I can jump in one and along with you guys here.
Right. Thanks,
Can't
DJ.
Appreciate it.
Later, DJ.
The only downside to the strategy, though, real quickly, the only downside would be that you burn, if for any reason, and I don't think it's crazy because you're probably trying to acquire $100 is your goal, and so if you do have to bid 101. You're still got $99. So there's really no downside, essentially. The only downside would be you traded capital and you make a mistake and you grab the wrong guy and you prematurely jumped on somebody and then the guy develops and then you don't have the fab to do it. But that's why I'd probably say try and grab, do 2 of these moves. And if you set some of them up, side by side, you might be able to pull it off so that no one notices you're doing it because you're accepting someone's trade. Leave it up like, hey, I'll give you this for 25 fab dollars, and you leave it up, right? And then Mahomes is there. Perfect. He tends to fall right to this pick, so we'll go Mahomes here. So I would try and get 225, 220, whatever, so that when you drop the 101, you still have another chance to drop 101. That would probably be my best advice around this advice is get more than 200. Get 202. Get 202. Even if you have to do a trade for 2 fab dollars, get 202 so that you can drop 101 twice. And beat out every other person. That's what I would do. That's the only downside which you can work around. Sorry, go ahead.
No, after your next pick, I got a question for you.
Genty, this is where I love Bo Nix, but Bo Nix just got taken, so that took away my dilemma. I like Kyler, but I like Ashton Genty a lot more. I'm going to go late quarterback shopping versus take my quarterback early here. I think Mahomes can be number 1 overall. I know some people think that's a ridiculous take, and I don't give a shit. I'm going to take a quarterback I think can be top 5. So if you want to accept that, fine. There, top 5. Once I get past, and I think Knicks can be, that's why it would have been a dilemma. Kyler's more 7, 8, 9 for me, but which is still a good quarterback. But once I can't get a top 5 quarterback at that second drafted player selection, every other pick, no matter what, would have been a quarterback for me. I would have taken Mahomes at 5 overall, or I'm sorry, Joe Burrow at 5 overall instead of 7 if I was on the clock at 5. If I was that guy at 6, I would have taken Joe Burrow at 6 instead of Jefferson. If I was at 7, I would have done what that guy did and take Joe Burrow. If I was at 8, I would have taken Mahomes. If I was at 9, I would have taken Mahomes. I'm at 10, I'd take Mahomes. At 11, I'd take Mahomes. 12, I'd take Mahomes. I'd probably consider Bo Nix at the 12, 13 if Mahomes was gone. But after Bo Nix, I'm letting the second quarterback ride. Not saying I don't contemplate it at this next pick, but best player available to me, I still want to have a top 5 player at every selection through the first 3 or 4 rounds of a Superflex. So Mahomes is a top 5 potential guy. Ashton Genty, top 5 at his position, potential guy. The quarterbacks were not, so that's why I'm going to play with fire and let the QB slip a little bit. So it went Kyler, Christian McCaffrey, Caleb Williams, Amon-Ra, Purdy, Fields. I do not want to be somebody, no offense, guys. I do not want to be somebody that's drafting Brock Purdy or Caleb Williams with my second drafted player. I'm just not doing it. I'd rather have Penix Jr. later. I'd rather have, and Penix Jr. falls a lot in these drafts. So right now we're at 26 overall. If we go to the ADP, which is still forming, so sometimes there's some out of character picks. We scroll through, we see Penix Jr. is going 57 overall, which again is still forming ADP, but that influences people when they see him that low, waiting that low. It makes people wait a little longer as that ADP forms a little higher. So I know Penix Jr. is going to be there, and if I go to the board and I see what my next pick is 34, my next pick is 39, my next pick is 58. So if I go back to the quarterbacks and I look at 58, Tua's there, Bryce Young's there, Matthew Stafford's there, Cam's there, and it gets a little dicey. So I can make a bold play, and I've done this before where I forego quarterback with these next two picks, but then I'm regulated to getting Milroe and Shadur and guys that won't help me right away, but if they get in there, I'm going to, have such a better supporting cast that I'm going to have fire. I'm going to spit fire. But it is risky because this is kind of at this draft slot the last chance to get one of these guys. So I'm going to look at it here. Bucky is there. I've got so far no wide receiver. I'm looking at that right now. I'm probably going to go. I'm going to go Bucky here. I might make this a scary attempt at my QB2, which I'm fine with. I do that all the time. I'm a very balls to the wall type of Superflex drafter. I'm very, very risk oriented. I try and predict who, like Penix Jr., for example. We thought Penix Jr. would start a lot earlier than he did last year, and he was one of my bets, and it didn't work out until the end of the year, so I didn't get the benefit like I wanted to. Garrett Wilson or Jordan Love or Stroud or Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to go Garrett Wilson here. I'm going to take a chance. So I've got Patrick Mahomes. I didn't have a receiver yet. Patrick Mahomes, Ashton Genty, Bucky Irving, Garrett Wilson. And the best way to value your Superflex team is essentially take away your first round quarterback. You should always be drafting a top 5 quarterback in Superflex. Always. I don't ever want to hear someone say, do I take JJ over Hurts? Do I take Jamar Chase over Josh Allen or JD5 or Lamar Jackson? Never. This is the one exception. Well, it's not really exception because it is the best player available, but it's the one time I say you can lock in something. You lock in your top 5 quarterback. If you think Mahomes is top 5, then you're locking in Mahomes. How do you tell if you draft a good Superflex draft? Take away your first rounder. So watch me scroll up. I'm going to scroll up and pretend that the first round doesn't exist. If I was to now teleport this board to a 1 QB draft, how does my team look? Genty, is he a first round pick, Travis? In a 1 QB? Absolutely, yeah, right. Nope. Bucky, is he a second round pick in a 1 QB? Yes, he is. Yes. Garrett Wilson, is he a third rounder in a 1 QB?
Sure.
So that's how you know if you've screwed up your Superflex draft, is you do that little, it's almost like an answer key. So now we're going to scroll down on over here. Looks like these QBs are flying off the board as expected. Could I get absolutely annihilated? Maybe. Penix Jr., could he fall? Probably not. Tua, could he fall? ADP says he will. Stafford at 65. My next pick is, what did I say it was? 68. Could Stafford fall? Possible. Bryce Young, probably not. Cam Ward, the ADP says Cam Ward will fall. But again, this ADP is shaping out. Now, Penix Jr. just went. Aaron Rodgers, not the craziest pick. And his ADP is so far down, he's 114, which means that I could essentially wait until, to be safe, my 8th or 9th round pick. And I've got Aaron Rodgers, and I get Milroe. I'm okay with that. if I could keep stacking monsters.
Yeah, there's, to me, when that list of QBs just flashed up on the screen, there's still several guys that I would have no problem taking, a couple of them a few rounds later and keep building my team with. Keep an eye on the QB list.
Yeah, but
if you think about, how many points QBs score, compared to a wide receiver 3 or a RB3 or something like that for your QB2 spot.
Okay, so I'm kind of tempted here, and I don't know if I'm going to tip my I don't know who's in this draft. This is kind of what I like here. I really like. I could go Worthy here to pair with Mahomes, or I could go Travis Hunter or Hampton. I'm going to trust my gut here. I'm going to go Travis Hunter, who, again, if we play the game where I scroll up one round and I say my team's on the far right there, Genty, first round pick, yes. Bucky, second round pick, yes. Garrett Wilson, third round pick, yes. Travis Hunter, fourth round pick, absolutely. So now I get to this point where, do I go quarterback, Cam Ward, Geno, or do I punt for Aaron Rodgers, Milroe, and a plethora of those guys? Do you like Cam Ward, or do you like RJ Harvey here? Worthy just went. I was tempted to go Worthy. I kind of like RJ Harvey.
Yeah, I was going to say, as long as there's, 3 or 4 guys you're happy with down low,
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I got Mahomes, Genty, Bucky, Garrett Wilson, Travis Hunter, RJ Harvey. We're going to roll the dice here. That team is sick. If I do get play out of Aaron Rodgers or Milroe that's surprising, that's monstrous for the value, this is how you win a Superflex contest. There's got to be some edge to bring to the table, guys. You can't just draft the mundane, everybody else is doing it approach. This is giving you an edge. There's a risk involved, no doubt about it. Banking on Milroe and Aaron Rodgers even to come and play football for the Steelers, there's a lot of risk there. You could take Will Howard and Aaron Rodgers to kind of cover bases later, which I'll attempt to do. There's a lot of ways to implement this risk, but you have to have some sort of risk involved. I've got no risk involved at any other position. I'm stacking studs upon studs. So my risk play, my gamble that I'm willing to accept, I'm accepting the mission, is that I land this quarterback in a weird way.
Right. That Mahomes is the guy, obviously, which as long as he's healthy, he should be. And that you can land a second QB, even if you have to cobble it together, because it's best ball. So even if it is, Rodgers, Howard, like you mentioned, a Milroe, and you could take another backup later, a Flacco type later, if you can cobble that together at the end of a draft, rather than sacrificing your lineup throughout the, middle of the draft and beginning of the draft.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is why you play. So for the angry Angus or the critiquing Christopher in the live chat right now or in the comments later, I'm gonna send you to 48 minutes and 39 seconds into the video, or 48 minutes and 30 seconds into the video. And anybody else, you see somebody comment this, just put 48:30. Go check it out. This is for you. You don't know everything. I don't know everything. We don't know how it's all going to play out. What we do know is that we're all taking a risk at some point in a draft in order to win a big contest like this. You cannot draft like everybody else the entire way. There are too many people that can draft a very ADP-like team. There are going to be very little people banking on Milroe and Aaron Rodgers, and that is what I'm banking on. That is going to be what we look at here. Now, Trevion Henderson's there. I love that. DK's there. I love that. George Pickens is there. I love that. I'm going to look at quarterback. Don't worry. I'm just kind of queuing some people. Laporta's still there. That's fantastic. It's getting to the point. Debo's still there. I love Debo. Debo's going to be there for the second of the 2 picks. So we start getting here, and I'm scrolling, and I'm like, okay, I don't need to scroll anymore. Going to quarterbacks, we got Dart. We got Aaron Rodgers is getting closer. The tough part is this ADP is not guaranteed to be accurate yet because this is their rollout of ADP data, and people are going to draft around it, but it's not exactly, held from thousands of drafts yet. So it will be manipulated slightly. That Aaron Rodgers, me talking about Aaron Rodgers, I think he just went. Okay, let me go ahead and draft DK or Hendy. Let's go. I guess I'll go DK here. So did Aaron Rodgers go? That's the part that sucks about wearing this on your sleeve.
Yep.
Damn it. Who snagged me on talking about that? His ADP, he was down there another like 20 rounds. Or I'm sorry, 2 rounds. Johnny.
I see a couple combos. I wouldn't even be.
Yeah. Okay. So if I'm gonna go QB here, do I wait for Milrow, who's got a 164 ADP? I have to. I can't take him now. Let me go to my queue. I'm gonna go. Do I go Laporta or Debo?
Laporta. If you don't have a tight end.
All right. So Laporta, DK, Travis Hunter, Garrett Wilson, RJ Harvey, Bucky Irving, Ashton Genty, Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers taken. That's right. We'll figure it out. Thing is, they might have just won me the league. You can't look at it as a negative thing, I got to talk it out. We went Laporta. Laporta's good. Okay, super chats, appreciate you. Ray G, are you still here? And B-Man, I'm sorry about making you guys wait. I vow to answer super chats immediately, and I got distracted, so I'm going to continue to do that. So know that if anybody drops a super chat, you're going to get immediate attention. I'm sorry. Once in a while, something slips by me while I'm yelling and screaming. Okay, this one's from Ray G. Ray G, you still here? Very good to see you, bro. Ray G, where's Ray G been? I've seen him in drafts, but I have Josh Allen, Fields, and JT Scattaboo, Worthy, Debo, Hunter, Pickens on my Dynasty team. That's great, bro. JT Scattaboo. I like it. It's hard to sell some of those players, like JT and Debo. But I like your squad. If you were to do the fab thing and get that extra player, that's one move, Ray G. I like the team, though. I'd explore JT trades, to be honest. Hi, do you think Neighbors' injury is going to linger? Go to the show today, B-Man. I talk all about it. But no, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to linger. It's a risk. Like we said earlier, there's a risk everywhere. But no, I have no concerns whatsoever. And just take advantage of the drop. His ADP is going to drop quite a bit for people. Quite a bit, meaning like 2 or 3 spots. I got him at the 10 in one draft, 11, and then the 12. And I don't even know where he would have fallen because I grabbed him. At 10, I grabbed him. Who knows where he would have gone? So then I did another draft. And I got the 1 pick, so I didn't take him. Then I did another draft, and I got the 11 pick. I did another draft. I got like the 4 pick. Then I did another draft and got the 12 pick. So with the 10, 11, and 12 picks, I tried to push it, try to see if Neighbors would fall. He fell in all 3 of those scenarios. Smitty, best auction strategy, 1 QB, 3 wide receiver, 3 running back, 1 tight end. Hendy's, Harvey's, Hunter, London's at the highest. Like you can build more monsters. You can accumulate more monsters that have top 5 potential of Mahomes if you go that route versus buying Bijans and those guys. That would be my number 1 piece of advice. And always participate in bids. Don't assume that everyone else is going to bid. Like, make sure you're okay bidding and winning it. But I've seen people go, wait, and then some guy goes for $20 less than he should, and everyone's like, where were you? Milrow's getting close. I don't know. I'm afraid that someone's going to snag him. I'm gonna time out here, so I'm just gonna grab Charbonnet. It's getting dicey here anyway. There's guys I like Ibuka and such, but I'm not going to take them here. I think I'm just going to take Miller to be safe. I don't know what else to do at this point.
Superflex, you got to get him.
Kelsey's there, though. I should have taken Kelsey at that Charbonnet pick. That's right. Charbonnet could be a league winner. So I hope these guys right here aren't. Damn it, who's in this draft? I'm taking Milrose so early. No one needs to snipe it. Russell Wilson. I saw that purple color and I just freaked out. Okay, so Milrose, the second quarterback ranked. I'm going to go Milrose. I wouldn't even be opposed to Shador, although I should have said that at the next pick, because I think Shador is going to win the job. Even if he doesn't get it right away. He's at week 5, week 6. So between Shador and Milrose, I will drive light at the Superflex position. And light being I've got a DK in there or something like that. You know, Charbonnet gets into top 5 running back numbers. He can be my Superflex. I'm not saying it's ideal because quarterbacks score so much more, but we're going to have, I believe we're going to have Milrose or Shador step up. I really, that's what I'm banking on. And if I get it wrong, I still might be competitive. And remember, it doesn't necessarily have to go right for me. I just got to make it through the next, make it through the top, I believe it's top 2 advance through 14 weeks. I just got to be that team, one of those 2 teams. And if Milrose goes in right when week 15 begins, then that's all that matters, as long as I make the playoffs, the first round of the playoffs. So there's a lot of, strategy involved in this.
Yeah, and I was going to say a couple things before, but I didn't want to say anything and have someone end up sniping you. But like with in a best ball format, if you're building it like this, and you could take a Dart and a Wilson and a Winston, and you're at least you at least have a starting quarterback there, or Shador and Flacco. Like if you pair those things up, I think I saw someone took AR5 already. AR5 and Danny Dimes isn't ideal, but if AR5 gets in there, he's going to score some points, and Danny Dimes will be okay. If you can just find some guaranteed starters to put into that second spot, cobble it together, it works out better than a lot of people realize.
Yeah, especially in optimal scoring,
Right. Well, that's what I mean. And it's optimal scoring. And when you're looking at it, like I said before, like, okay, so my QB2 spot, if it scores 15, 16, 18 points, well, that's still as much or more than a lot of players are going to score every week anyway, position players. So it's, it'll, at the worst, even itself out a lot of times. Some people disagree with that. But.
Yeah. Tyler Warren. All right, so we're getting close to my pick. Luther Burden and Evan Ingram are the highest ranked players on my queue, or the highest ranked players on my queue that are sitting there. Luther Burden's really interesting and intriguing, but let's see what. Okay, so Keon Coleman just went. Tyler Warren or Shador? I'm just gonna go Warren. Let's see if it backfires on me.
You like other QBs.
I went Warren here. Let's
or
see.
You think you'll laugh.
I don't know if these guys are snapping.
I don't know what other people have.
This could be my mistake, though. It's not reaching high enough for him. I don't know if these guys are gonna snipe. I don't know who's in here. I know I recognize a couple people for sure, but I don't know. I recognize the guy right before me. But I don't know about these last 2 guys. I feel like they've been making picks I don't like Ricky Pearsall, Russell Wilson, Diggs. Yes, okay. They're not snipers, or they're not trying to screw me. Okay, so Shador. Okay, so Shador, Milrose, Mahomes. I'm feeling pretty solid about that. I wish I would have got Aaron Rodgers, but I could take Will Howard later, and maybe Aaron Rodgers retires and he doesn't come back. Genty, Bucky, Harvey, Sharps, Garrett Wilson, Travis Hunter, DK, Laporta, Tyler Warren. I think I like it.
So Jason in the chat, and it's cool. I don't think he prefers this build. I was just saying how you were explaining it, why you did the build. And he's saying, explain to me how taking Milrow in the 11th when everyone else takes him in the 14th and 15th is optimal. Well, I think you took him so he wouldn't get sniped.
He's not, but he's not going. He's not going in the 11th. That ADP is not solidified yet. That ADP, it's getting massaged into place, so that's not accurate for him to say that. Milrow is only going there, just like we saw, other quarterbacks get taken 2 rounds ahead. Everyone's going to sort by quarterback, and they're going to say the next best quarterback is there, and they're going to feel pressured to take him, and then they'll take him at some point. After about 4 or 5 days of drafting on these super flexes, we will get a very solid ADP. It has been a very bland projected ADP placed in there for us. So this is not solidified yet. So you think you can draft someone on ADP yet? You can't. You will get burned. Just like a lot of quarterbacks have already gone way ahead of their ADP. The ADP is going to be suggestive. It will definitely have influence, but it is not it's not to be trusted yet fully. You need to, if a quarterback is sitting there as the highest ranked quarterback and Milrow was the second highest, you cannot assume you can go all the way down and back on essentially 2 rounds worth of picks and expect Milrow to for sure be there. Not to mention, you also have to look at who's there. Does anybody stand out as a must grab? No one really does. I like a lot of players, but there's a lot of players I like 15, 20 spots lower that are just as good as the ones I've checked and queued that are right at the top. So not accurate at all, but I understand. I understand where that concept would come and why you would think that, because you would think the ADP is the ADP. The ADP isn't the ADP yet. It's definitely influential. There's still people that get in here and go, oh, like you just said, oh, no one's drafted him here yet, so I gotta wait. There's other people, especially the people on right now that are dogs. They know what's going on. They drafted on here, year after year after year. They know what's going on. They're not gonna wait. They're not gonna wait on quarterbacks as this ADP solidifies itself. So Joe Flacco is there. This would be a good pick for me to grab Joe Flacco right now and not let this go any further.
Yep.
His ADP is 185. We're at pick 154. Again, example of why I'm going to reach. He's been sitting there floating on top. You think someone isn't going, I'm going to take the first best or the next best quarterback listed before someone else does. So we're all sitting here wondering. Now, these 2 guys have sniped me twice, so I think hopefully they just hate Flacco. Okay, I'm going to take Flacco. Now I have a starter. Guaranteed starter. Jameis Winston is somebody who's going 230, so I'm going to wait a little bit, but I'm definitely going to scoop him up, like you said. And I have all 3 of the Cleveland Brown. Or sorry, not Jameis Winston. Where is he? Kenny? I don't want to take Kenny Pickett. I'm not going to do it.
I don't even know if Pickett will be there, honestly.
I'm gonna skip Pickett.
Or Gabriel, I don't know.
I'm gonna keep. Oh no, I timed out.
Oh.
On Joe Milton. He was so far down there. Oh shit! Damn it.
Duke Joe.
That I do not recommend. I should have taken Will Howard. I queued him a long time ago. That is where I think some people walk away from the computer. And we started drafting, and somebody cues somebody really early, and we go, why'd you take him so early, bro? And he comes back, and they're like, I queued him, and then I walked away, and I timed out. That's a perfect example of how that happens. Damn it. that shouldn't have been done. But, hey, it could be a winning move. A blessing in disguise. Maybe the Dak Prescott owner is just pulling his hair out right now. Yeah, I mean, I might grab Pickett at the end, or depending on where he falls. I'm not saying I won't. He's projected 233, and this draft goes down to 240. So my last pick before this turn, I'd consider Pickett, I suppose. I definitely think it's something I would.
Are they going to keep 4 QBs there? Are they really going to cut Gabriel after they took him in the 4th round?
I think Gabriel is trash. I think he's he does not deserve to be an NFL quarterback. It's almost so laughable that he's even in that quarterback room and was drafted ahead of Shador it makes the Browns look incompetent. And it is not a good move where people can say, oh, but they got him at lower draft capital, they can pay him less. It is a stupid move because it makes him expendable. You don't want him expendable because you want to have enough faith and have the whole organization back him through some bumpy waters, because that's how you, when you get higher draft capital, you're afforded those mistakes. You don't want Shedeur to have that in his mind that he's expendable, and then he gets into a rut and it's like they're going to move on because the draft capital pressures teams to do that. It is not a smart move. Who cares about paying him a little less money? It's a stupid argument that people have. Let's see where I'm at with I need a wide receiver. I still only have the 3 wide receivers. But this is, I love Pat Bryant. Love Yoshi Voss here. Dudes, put on some LBs. Tesla sneaky in the later rounds. I'm going to probably go Pat Bryant here. I'm a big fan of Pat Bryant. Jalen Knowles there. That's not bad. Joshua Palmer in Buffalo. There's some intrigue there. I think Michael Wilson's okay for sure. Keenan Allen, even though he doesn't have a team yet, I think he'll be playing for the Chargers or the Bears. Or I'm sorry, the Chargers. Yoshi Voss I like a lot. Let me see who's here. Yeah, it's gonna be Pat Bryant for me. I think he is a real possibility of being a gem.
Is Gabriel like bad, or is it just that he's so small? He's just not going to be able to handle it?
Yeah, he's so tiny. It's so weird. It's so weird that he's out there standing next to everybody. He looks like he can't even see over. I don't think he can see over the offensive line. Do I take Will Howard here? What is the quarterback look? He's so far down. No, I gotta wait. Let's go. I'll go Yoshi Voss here just because I feel thin at wide receiver. So I've got Garrett Wilson, Hunter, DK, Pat Bryant, Yoshi Voss, Laporta, Tyler Warren, Genty, Bucky, Harvey, Sharbs, Mahomes, Milrose, Shedeur, Flacco, Milton. I timed out on Milton. So I took him at 159. I didn't mean to. I really didn't mean to. Son of a bitch. I just didn't want to forget him later, so I queued him really early on. I think I was going through just quarterbacks at that point, and then I went to the other positions. And lesson. Look, I'm controlling a live stream, phone lines, and a draft, and trying to argue points and give content. So I'm a little distracted. B-Man with the super chat says more auction content. Yeah, we'll have a lot more auction content, definitely. And it's kind of the onus is sometimes on you guys with phone calls and super chats. You can control the narrative of a show at any moment. And so you asking these auction content questions are helping a lot of people that want auction content. So keep in mind that these shows can be whatever you guys want them to be to a degree. But as far as the best way to draft, it's kind of hard to say where all these player values are going to be, but you just basically, the auction 101 for me is never call out the players you want. Let those players go as late as humanly possible. Make someone else call out Zach Charbonnet. Don't call him out early. The more people have money, the more willing they are to overspend. Once everybody starts feeling strapped, no one's going to get crazy. So if you love RJ Harvey, the last thing you want to do is call RJ Harvey out and make people get competitive with it. So once people start feeling strapped, they're going to hold back. So that's auction strategy number 1. Number 2, unless you do the 2 or 3 headed monster where you grab Bijan, Gibbs, and let's say you can afford JD5. And that's all you got. And you got a bunch of waiver wire guys. I don't mind doing that. I like doing that. It's fun. It's fun. But if you don't do that, I don't buy Gibbs. I don't buy Bijan. I don't buy Barkley. Those guys cost so much. You're better off grabbing Hampton, Harvey, Kyron, doubted players. The more doubted, the cheaper they'll be. It just goes in line with sleepers. Drafts, auction draft sleepers. The guys that are doubted, Breece Hall, Kyron, RJ Harvey. Imagine having Breece Hall, Kyron, and RJ Harvey at slightly over what Barkley's going to cost. You're talking about maybe $35 RJ Harvey, Brees Hall, $38, $40. And then, what would I say the other one was? So you're looking at like maybe like 120, 125 for both, when Barkley might go for 90. And you got 3 RBs. So that's kind of where my mind's at. Those are the 2 best ways to advise people to draft in. Bucky, RJ Harvey, Sharps. Dylan Sampson, Jarquez Hunter. I don't have Kyron though. Spencer Rattler. Jalen Royals is getting really thin. Tesla. Should I just go? I guess I'll go Dylan Sampson. I still need a few RBs. So I've got Genty, Bucky, Harvey, Sharps, and Dylan Sampson. This is the 18th round, so we can't really worry about ADP at this point. I think I'm just going to take Will Howard regardless of how far his ADP is, because I've got 18, 19, 20. I got 3 picks left, and 2 of them are at the end. So I have this pick, and then I've got pretty much 2, that are going to be, so it doesn't matter where I take these guys. I'm going to go Will Howard here. I think it's smart. I might take Kenny Pickett or Winston with my next pick if I so choose. My running back stable or my quarterback stable is, I'm not saying it's threatening past Mahomes, but it is long. It's lengthy. I got Shador and Flacco. I don't believe in Kenny Pickett at all. I think Kenny Pickett is not. I don't care if he starts week 1, but even if he's projected, who cares about projected? Who's projecting a starting quarterback in Chicago or in Cleveland right now? Who? Some beat writer? Like, it's not even a question in my mind that this is going to be a guy that fails week 1 if he does go in there. So I've got Shador and Flacco. Milton was an auto way too early. Will Howard's intriguing. Jalen Milroe, I think, is the next Jalen Hurts if he gets a shot, and I think he takes it. I don't think he gets a shot. I think he takes it from Darnold's, very light kung fu grip. Ashton Genty, Bucky, RJ Harvey, Sharps, Dylan Sampson, Garrett Wilson, Hunter, DK, Pat Bryant, Yoshi Voss, Laporta, Warren. Wouldn't mind another tight end and a receiver, and I could call it a day. I don't know that I could go quarterback, but what are we thinking here? Kenny Pickett to just solidify, or should I just leave the QBs alone? Malik Willis is kind of an intriguing dart throw. If something happened to Jordan Love, he could be crazy.
I'd rather him over Pickett. But...
Okay, so we'll check him. This is how you win a league right here. You don't go with the ADP. You don't care about any of that. Let's go with how about we go Fannin? Am I okay going no more wide receivers? Garrett Wilson, Travis Hunter, DK Metcalf, Pat Bryant, Yoshi Voss. But the problem is I only have Laporta and Tyler Warren, but that'll probably serve me all year long. They're different bye weeks.
It should.
But I would be cuffing Fannin to the Cleveland quarterbacks.
I was just going to say that. That would be the only spot to grab Fannin.
But the wide receivers are thin. Garrett Wilson, Hunter, Metcalf. Got to start 3 of them, and my only 2 bench guys would be Bryant, Voss.
I think you need another receiver.
So maybe I go. Malik. Guys, what do you think? Malik Willis or a tight end? Fannin. Malik Willis is sneaky though. I kind of wish I'd had him instead of Milton. I didn't mean to auto Milton. I love Milton if you've got Dak. In a Superflex, I 100% draft Milton if I drafted Dak. So what do you guys think here? Fannin Jr.? Or do we go with another receiver? And the other receivers that Jalen Royals, Tesla. It's not like these guys are guarantees though. You're drafting a guy that could get you 0 points a lot of the time. Royals may not even be used for a while.
I get a little worried because DK does get hurt a lot.
Okay,
So
why don't we go?
If he was to go down.
Why don't we go Tesla? because he feels like, even though he's not going to be, turning heads every single week, he feels like he's going to be involved. And Willis is so fun, but that could be literally 0 points every week. Let me go Tesla just to make sure I have another receiver. And that makes my receiving group look a lot safer right here. Garrett Wilson, Hunter, DK, Pat Bryant, Yoshi Voss, Tesla. And then bye weeks.
I didn't see Adam over there either.
Who?
But Io Manor. Let's see.
All right, guys. Is it an extra quarterback in Malik Willis for the firepower, or is it Fannin Jr. so I have a third tight end? What do you think, Travis? 10 seconds.
I'd probably go Fannin, because you're leaning on Mahomes to do most of the work anyway. What do you got?
All right, so Laporta, Tyler Warren, Fannin. All different bye weeks, too, on the tight ends. Garrett Wilson, Hunter, DK, Pat Bryant, Yoshi Voss, Tesla, Genty. Let me merge Gump in real quick. Okay, Gump's on the line. Genty, Bucky, Harvey, Sharps, Dylan Sampson, and then just a grab bag of quarterbacks with Mahomes. So Jalen Milroe, Shadur, Flacco, Milton, and Will Howard, and I timed out on Milton. Not that I hate Milton, I didn't mean to pick him there. I had him queued, but he went really, really early on my queue. Thank you, B-Man, and yes, more auction content to come, but hopefully those strategies help you a lot, a little bit. Another player that could blow up is Gadsden. Yeah, Gadsden is pretty good, a pretty good prospect. Anyway, yeah. For the earlier conversation and just in general, but he's trade Puka and Dak for Josh Allen and Ricky Pearsall. What do you think on that one, Travis?
And it's a Superflex, I'll take Allen, but I'm guessing it's not.
Yeah, it's Superflex for sure.
I don't know. I think I might still lean Allen. Puka and Dak are safer, I guess, but still think Pearsall's going to be good.
Mm-hmm. Chat, what do you think on this question?
What would you do?
If it's Superflex, again, I think we both agree it's Josh Allen. It's just a massive difference. But if it's a 1 QB, and if it's redraft, let's say, and which I don't think it is because no one has redraft teams assembled yet, so it's probably Dynasty. I
shy away from injuries, so that's probably why I'm leaning the Allen side on that. But I admit.
I mean, Dak and Puka are injury prone.
Yeah, that's probably the main reason I'm shying away from it now. Thinking about it.
Yeah,
that's just my natural tendency is to just go away from injury.
I mean, but then again, if we think about it from a Dynasty startup perspective, we're drafting Puka ahead of. But it doesn't matter. Like, that's the thing is when it comes to trading, it's different. It really isn't. This is why I say quarterbacks should be getting drafted in the first round, like the bottom of round 1 and the top of round 2 in Dynasty, like the top 3 quarterbacks at least, because they once you walk off the lot, it's the one player that goes up in value. Unlike you drive a car off the lot, it goes down $2,000 the next day. Like, you try and trade your brand new car in the next day, it goes down $2,000 or $3,000 just driving off the lot. It's the same thing with players that you draft a little higher, but quarterbacks, you may take JD5 in round 3, but he's top 12 overall trade value wise once the draft is over. So Josh Allen, same thing. I kind of think Josh Allen and Puka have the same dynasty value, exact same. And the only reason I have Puka as the exact same is because I believe other people value him a lot. So you can trade him, I personally 1-for-1 would rather have Josh Allen than Puka in a league, especially if it's 6 points per TD pass. But yeah, give me Pearsall and Josh Allen. Final answer. But it's super close, and the Puka part makes it deceptive. But again, Puka's very rough on his body, and I think he's going to suffer some injury concerns. All right, let me go over to Gumpy. Gumpy, you're live, my boy. You are live, young man.
Yeah, I'd like to have a itty bitty question over here. I was just wondering if there's two quarterbacks that played the season, and they had a lot of yards. What two quarterbacks had the most yards for a season on the same team?
I don't know what your question. Travis, translate. I was looking at some comments and I didn't.
So if
what he's saying.
I have it right, did he say two QBs on the same team that would have the most yards?
One gets hurt and then the other one steps in and then he plays.
Right. So you're basically wanting me to say Hendon Hooker. Come on, Gump. Stop with the Lions BS, bro. Nobody cares.
No, I'm just any quarterback. I'm just saying any quarterback.
You want me to say Hendon Hooker? Everything you say is about the Lions. Everything.
No, I'm just
it's so
saying.
hard to.
No, you're not. Just
you
want me to. Milrow. Milrow. You know Milrow's my boy. Milton and Milrow are fantastic backup quarterbacks. I would say Malik.
Milrow and Darnold.
I'm talking about like when Johnny Unitas and Earl Morrow won the Super Bowl. They went undefeated. They must have had a lot of yards, between the two of them.
I don't know what he's.
I'm saying.
You got to depict this.
I'm saying what.
Break it down.
Like did they get?
If Milrow took over for Darnold, and Darnold threw for 2,200 yards, and then Milrow threw for another 2,000 yards. You have two 2,000-yard passers.
Okay.
One threw for like 35, and the other one threw.
So what's the question? Combined, who throws the most yards? Is that what your question is?
Well, yeah. Who got between the two quarterbacks? Who got the most in the league?
That's like an all-time gun question.
I still don't even understand the question. I feel like I understand any question anybody presents to me. I'm pretty on point with understanding the ins and outs of somebody's fantasy football mind. I have no clue what he's asking.
1 year, who got the most? And 1 year, who got the most yards between two quarterbacks on the same team?
Does anybody understand what he's asking? I don't know.
Oh. So in history, you mean, not who will this year? Oh, in history.
No, I still don't know. Like the way I'm thinking he's asking this question is what two quarterbacks combine for the most yards. But guess what? Can't you just use one quarterback and say, yeah, his backup who never played, and they combine for the most? Like you get 17 starts, or in the previous year 16. So like I don't really understand the question. Is there a parameter like a guy has to miss 8 games or something?
Right. Because
a season.
Yeah, because like
Gump, I don't mean I'm going to hang up on you if you don't change topics. This does not help my channel. This does not help anybody watching. These questions are Mickey Mouse. They don't help anybody. We need to talk about relevant stuff. This is not a psychologist phone line. Although I have a psych degree.
But if you want to change it, I think Laporta is going to be good this year.
Thank you.
Right.
You saved your phone call. Okay, Laporta is going to be very good this year.
Yeah, that was kind of a good pick. You had choice between Debo and Laporta. So I was thinking, yeah, it was kind of good what he did. You grabbed Laporta. That was good.
Thanks, Gump. Appreciate that. All right, guys, jump into another Superflex. $5 entry, underdog, code Smitty. Jump into a Superflex.
Can I pick some picks?
No, Gump.
Come on.
I'll take your advice. I'll take it under advisement. What you recommend.
Okay.
There's the link.
Okay.
Jump in.
I can't jump in.
There you go, Gump. I think someone got it for you. Broncos did it, 2013.
I missed your Superflex draft by a millisecond and ended with Mahomes, Fields, Milrow, Bucky, Swift, Pollard, Benson, Dobbins, Lloyd, Wilson, Rice, Worthy, Debo, Diggs, Hollywood, Keenan Allen, Amari, Ingram, Taylor. Nice. Okay, the draft filled. If you didn't get in this draft, don't worry. Come on, man. Let the 12 pick. Come on.
Oh,
I like the
worse.
Nice team. How dare you? Nice team, my boy. Nice team. Let me get Rock out in here. Gosh, I can't win.
I like the 12th pick. Go ahead.
I just can't win. I can't get a good draft slot when I'm doing it live.
Oh, you'll get a great team with 12th pick. Go ahead.
Stop whispering, Gump. It's like you're whispering to me. All right, hold on. Let me put up the board. Here we go. Man, this draft's flying. Picks were made right away. Boom, boom, boom. There was like a 5-second delay between these picks. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels. Oh, these quarterbacks are flying out. Just when I play it, the 12 pick, they have to fly up the board like this. They have to just go straight off the board. Just boom, 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 boom. No QBs will be left for Smitty. Now, we could try a double QB here. If for any reason, I don't even want to say their names. But if 2 quarterbacks fall that I like right here, I could go double. We got so much. There's no way. There's no way I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4 picks in a row right here of no QB. Maybe because it's Gibbs and those boys, they look real attractive right here. Maybe people are like, I don't like. People hate a man that starts.
You better grab Gibbs.
A man that starts with the letter P and ends with the letter M in the first and last name. Or B, I'm sorry. His first letter, there he is. Gosh dang it. Thanks, Colton. Appreciate you. All right, boys. Let's try. Lamb just went. Did Bo Nix go? No, he didn't go. Do I just take Kyler? Should I take Kyler and Nix here and just try it? I don't know. I'll take Nix here.
No.
Gump, stop. Or do I just go?
Go Baker.
Do I go with
Baker? Baker.
I don't want to go Baker.
Bo
Baker. Yeah,
Gibbs is here.
Baker and Nick.
I'm gonna go Gibbs here and just see.
Like 40 touchdowns.
All right, so Bo Nix and Gibbs. I don't love the first pick, but we're going to get back on track. Like I say, when you're doing a Superflex and you want to check your team to make sure you're balling out, right? You just scroll up or cover it with your hand or whatever, or just use your imagination and pretend the first round doesn't exist. Okay? Is Gibbs a first round pick? Absolutely. So I'm fine with that. If I had gone with another QB, I wouldn't have been able to say that because Kyler is not a first round. I know you could look at it differently, but I'm just saying that's the way I build, and it's been successful. It's one of my favorite ways to build a conglomerate Superflex team, and I've done it in expert leagues live every year, and I've won back-to-back championships in the team that I drafted in that expert league, as I've shown that as I deployed the strategy. So the strategy is if you can get a Gump, stop talking. If you could get a second good quarterback in round 2, you take advantage of it. I would have maybe went Mahomes and Nix here and tried this approach from the 12 pick. But let's see if we can grab a player. Let's see if we can grab a player at the. Let's see on this way back to this 36 pick turn. Let's see if we can find a quarterback here. Okay, so Baker. I understand the Baker thought. I'm going to pass on Baker. Kyler was tempting. Fields, Caleb, a lot of quarterbacks going.
I was going to ask on Baker, would you be higher on him if Cohen was still there? He has the most touchdown passes in the past 2 years. So I'm just curious.
I think compared,
why you don't have him in the same range as like Nick.
So let's say, looking at this, let's say Penix Jr., who I think is going to have a baller year. Would I rather have Gibbs and Penix Jr. or Baker and whoever falls here? So that's kind of what
where's Fields dropping?
Or Fields, but Fields just went. He went in the 22 pick.
I wasn't so much asking that. I was just asking in general, like like I noticed last one too when you were naming up QBs, like you didn't have him in the same areas like with Knicks. Like I think you had him like below Knicks probably, and sounds like you had Kyler.
It's arguable
maybe too. So I was just curious.
It's arguable to take Baker there. No doubt about it. He deserves it. Baker's been a dog. But I just think Gibbs and Penix Jr. is better than what I probably get. And maybe that's wrong. Maybe it ends up being even Steven. Like right down there at that 3-4 turn. We're talking about Garrett Wilson. We're talking about Marvin Harrison Jr., Chase Brown, Kyron Williams. So Kyron Williams and Baker versus Gibbs and Penix Jr., very arguable.
I would have grabbed Gibbs and Fields.
I couldn't grab Gibbs and Fields. I only... Gump, let the professionals handle this. Fields at a 12. Come on, Gump. Dak was one I was kind of like being coy about because I didn't want to say it out loud.
No, I wouldn't say at 12. The next time he came around, I would grab him.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it out loud. Herbert's there. Herbert's not bad. Drake May's there. Penix Jr.'s ADP's 57. Again, you can't be too... You got to be a little careful. Our next pick will be 60. So really it comes down to, okay, I can take McBride here. I'm going to go Garrett Wilson because I want a receiver. I don't want to exit this area without a receiver, and all things are really, really even. This is a little bit early, but he's not going to be when we come back. I'm going to take Penix Jr. here. I believe he's going to ball out this year. So I'm going to go with Bo Nix, Jahmyr Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, Penix Jr. Let me hit these.
Garrett Wilson might be a good pick this year.
Yeah. I missed your... Oh, I already did this one. Thank you. How dare you. Appreciate you dropping the super chat, my boy. Danny with the super says, Dynasty, QBs, Penix Jr., Caleb, AR5, running backs, Gibbs, Kyron, Harvey, Kamara, love it. Maybe you're trading Kamara and Caleb to upgrade that QB to Mahomes. London, Pickens, Addison, Coleman. What moves to make? That's the one I would make. Corum and Kyron for Nix, Rasheed, and Bigsby. Rasheed Rice?
Yeah.
Kyron for Nix. It's a 1 QB.
I don't know. That's what I asked him.
Even if it's a 1 QB, Danny, can you let me know if this is a... Gup, that's it. Gup, that's it. You got one more chance. I'm not going to hang up on you. I'm trying to be nice tonight. We're trying. Woosah. But the mumbling in the background's got to stop. Just hang tight. Danny, can you let us know if
one
this
QB.
Flex? Okay,
it's one QB.
Chat, what do you like on this? Corum, it's Dynasty. I'm going to take Rasheed Rice and Bigsby and Nix. Bigsby's got nice.
Yeah, especially because he has Harvey. He's still got Gibbs and Harvey.
Yeah, Nix is nice dynasty appeal. Bigsby's got nice dynasty appeal. Rasheed Rice has nice dynasty appeal. Kyron, I love, but he's been getting beaten down. So give me the Rasheed Rice, Nix, and Bigsby side by quite a bit. Danny?
Oh, threw a wrench in it. What if he has to give up Pickens too?
That's not the same question, Danny. That's like saying, hey, would you? Whose phone line is clicking like a madman? That might be Rock Out's. Rock Out, mute real quick and let's see. I don't know if you're muted right now, but
I was already muted. It's
like, can anybody hear the clicking or is it just me? If it's me, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I can.
I don't know. I heard it. I don't know if you could hear.
Aaron with the super chat. Under 30 seconds. Player thoughts on 3 randomly selected players from 2025: Felton, Wandell, and Woody Marks. I'll be honest. I'm not. I like Marks, and that's about it right now. Okay, do I go quarterback here? Part of me wishes maybe I waited on Penix because, I mean, Stafford's here. I would have been okay with that. Harvey's here. I can't pass up on Harvey here. So I'm going to go Harvey here with 1 pick.
There's still enough QBs. And you got 2 already.
Yeah. Do I go Adams, Pickens, Kittle, or Hampton?
Hampton.
Oh.
I'm gonna
Adams or Hampton.
I went Hampton. So I got Bo Nix and Penix Jr., Gibbs, Harvey, Hampton, and Garrett Wilson. I'm going light at wide receiver, but it's still super flex. So there's a lot of wide receivers spread out. So yeah, I guess I would say with Woody Marks, I just think there's opportunity for him. Not to suggest that Felton couldn't be something.
Yeah, and I mean Wandale in PPR, he might be a flex guy. Much more as of now.
Yeah. There's got.
I mean, you mentioned Josh Palmer.
Palmer's okay. I think he'll do okay, but
yeah, he is what he is.
What do new players do in that Buffalo system though? You know, year after year after year. All right. So yeah, I would say Woody Marks is the only one that stands out, even worth really covering.
What receivers are left?
I mean, like the thing about Felton is like he's got to climb what, you know, how much there's, what's his name? Who's the receiver last year that I liked a lot? What's his name from Minnesota? The guy behind Addison.
Naylor.
Nailed it. Naylor is I think they trust him a lot. So like, what's Felton gonna do? You know, how is he gonna really climb there? And you got again maybe a watered down passing attack a little bit, in my opinion, until proven otherwise. So that's kind of just how I look at it. And
Hawkinson too. Hawkinson's healthy now.
Yeah, Wan'Dale Robinson not that high on him. He's okay. Like, would I take Wan'Dale in a deep dynasty league where I need a receiver? Maybe, but I need to know what other wide receivers were there.
Yeah, that's why I said he's like a flex type option in a full PPR league. Catches a lot of balls. He had 9 catches last year.
Gump will like this. I'd rather have Tesla over Wan'Dale. Gump will like that. Gump, your permission to gawk all over the comment. Go ahead. Go ahead, Gump. Let Gump out of the basement.
The sneaky idea that maybe Tesla gets 1,000 yards.
Oh God! Why do you gotta go make me tear down the player I just talked up? Now I gotta go out there and tear him down to size. No, he's not having 1,000 yards. Damn it, Gump. You'd have to have the whole wide receiver room get abducted by aliens. They went on a skiing trip and they're missing in the mountains. Tesla, you're up. Next man up. Number 1 wide receiver for the team. Yes, maybe then, Gump. Maybe then. You got J-Mo. You got St. Brown. You've got Laporta. You got Gibbs. You got Monty. You'll probably catch more passes this year. This is a crowded situation. How the hell is Tesla, unless there's an injury, going to get you 1,000 yards? Now, if you're predicting injury, I get it. I understand. I accept your wild take, I guess. Okay, guys, Debo's there. I love that. I got back-to-backs. Debo's a little bit of a reach. Laporta's there. I could go deep. I could go. Oh, DK just got taken. I'm going to go Debo. Now, do I go Laporta or do I go?
No, grab Laporta. Grab him. Grab
him. Stop talking. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think I could go a receiver here. I just don't like him enough, even though
you go Olave.
Yeah, I wanted to go
Olave's
another
risky.
Laporta.
but I have such good balance already. I know I'm a little bit behind on wide receiver, but because the Superflex is not that crazy to be behind at this point, there's still a ton of wide receivers left. I like Garrett Wilson and Debo. It's a fantastic duo. I've got Harvey, Hampton, Gibbs. I've got Bo Nix and Penix, and I've got Laporta. So, is it my favorite team I've ever assembled in the Superflex this year? No, but I like it. It's very competitive. Jason says,
Hey,
I'm a Lions season ticket holder in Tesla 1,000 yards is crazy. If Gump was to say, I believe there will be a, alien abduction that will involve the wide receiver bus, but Tesla's not allowed on it yet because he hasn't earned his stripes, and then Tesla's the only receiver left. Then I'd understand what Gump's saying, but you have to preface that, Gump. You think everyone in a Lions uniform is breaking records? You think that that Hendon Hooker could be a top 5 QB with Goff starting all 17 games?
It'd be wild if he ended up there a few. That's for sure.
Go ahead, rock out your life.
Can I give you my bad Superflex team?
Sure.
Quarterback, Mahomes, Penix, Milrow, Shador Sanders. Running back, Irving, Kyrie Williams, Henderson, Warren, Woody Mark, Sean Tucker. Wide receiver, Puka, Hunter, Debo, Shakir, Betch, Wilson, Royals. Tight end, Kelsey, Mason Taylor, and Ferguson.
Nice.
That's a good team. I like that.
Yeah, Rockout.
I think you're right. I think Rockout's winning something this year. He's been smashing the draft.
Drafting. It's almost like Rockout takes the live stream and then is really finite with the content mixed with his own take too.
He translates it.
But it's always translated really well. That's a good job, Rockout. Gump, before I let you go, I know you're gonna get upset. I've had enough today. I've had enough Gump. Gump, give me a Jared Goff passing yard prediction. Go. And touchdowns. Go. Let me get my finger over the button.
62.
6,200 yards for Goff. That's it?
6,200 yards.
And how many touchdowns?
20.
Finish him. Call terminated.
Did he say 20?
6,000 yards, 20 touchdowns.
What?
A lot of running from the 5-yard line.
That's the most imbalanced thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's the Gump answer right there.
I mean, yeah, way to confuse me. I'm gonna go Kelsey.
I was waiting for like 70 touchdowns.
Yeah, I thought for sure. I don't know. I'm gonna reach a little bit here for Egbuka because I think I don't care. I'm not gonna get him on the way back. Egbuka's gonna have. He's gonna have a top 15 wide receiver season. I really think so. As a rookie, I think he's gonna be ranked in the top 11 to 15 walking into 2026. I've never heard someone say 6,000 yards before and then followed up with a 20 touchdown.
I'd literally have to just run all the touchdowns in or never score.
What are you doing back there? All right, here's my team. What do you guys think? Bo Nix, Penix Jr., Gibbs, RJ Harvey, Hampton, Garrett Wilson, Debo, Egbuka, Sam Laporta, Kelsey. I like it, but I don't know. I hate this draft slot. Like, I'm not trying to make excuses, but 12 sucks. And I get 10 before.
Yeah.
It sucks in Superflex.
Yeah, it was a bad spot.
I'm doing my best with it, but it's probably not going to have a lot of winners from the 12.
Yeah, you almost have to reach with some to even it out.
I think you could win with the 10, 11, 12 if you get Mahomes. But
Yeah.
I really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because, like, say you did do the 2 QBs, okay, that's good. You got, Nix and Kyler, Nix and Baker, so you're in good shape there. But then you miss out on that Gibbs player. You miss out on that top 20 player.
Yeah. All right, I
I
think
wonder if they've tracked that at all. How often people win from each position in Superflex.
yeah, they I think they do. All right, so did Aaron Rodgers already go? See, that's what I'm talking about. This Aaron Rodgers ADP isn't right because he flies off the board a lot quicker than his ADP. So people are still, they're not drafting him.
Yeah.
No one's drafting him at his ADP.
Yeah, and the second he announces he's coming back, that ADP flies up.
How many people we got in the YouTube realm? 209. Guys, subscribe if you're new. People are just getting into. I mean, usually about the 4th of July is when the channel starts ramping up, but we're starting to get a little early ramp up. We've got like 150 subscribers in the last day. So keep smashing that. Subscribe. Gump says, if you are a season ticket holder, well, how about if Tesla gets 1,000 yards, then I get 2 tickets. This is Gump. After it's accomplished, says Gump. Why does he say says Gump? Why does he do that? Gump, why do you say says Gump? We see it's you. I guess that was something Forrest would do. That is something Forrest would do. Okay, Luther Burden and Jalen Milroe season, baby. Now I'm feeling a little bit better about my team. I've got Milroe,
Penix, Burden.
Yeah. I got Nix, Penix, and Milroe. I've got Gibbs, Harvey, Hampton. I've got Garrett Wilson, Debo, Abuka, Luther Burden. I've got Laporta, Kelsey. I'm feeling actually pretty good about it now. Family seems to be getting sick again. Hopefully I escape it. I've been escaping. I mean, I don't get exposed to a lot of germs because I'm in this box majority of the day.
Yeah, quarantine.
And I don't try and I don't go to the local Circle K, and when I'm filling up for gas, just lick the countertop just to keep, in the mix with the germs. I don't do that, and a lot of people say, you got to be exposed to it, but I just can't get myself to just voluntarily bask in germs and everything. So I end up leaving a Circle K, and instead of leaving the germs on my hand, I will sanitize. If I'm at the movie theater, I'll use my foot and balance and open the door when it's that claw handle that goes downward. I'll take my foot, lift it up, pull it, then grab my foot, put it in between, pull it out, or that's if there's a blow dryer. If I get paper towels, I take it, I look, they don't put a trash can near the door, their fault, in the corner, boom. So that's how I operate. And, might get me sick more than the average bear, but I tend to try and not get near any germs anyway. But when the family brings it in, then I'm just a victim. But the last 2 I've avoided. They keep getting sick. I get a plague brought into this house by one of the kids or Miss Smitty at least once every 4 weeks. And everybody's got a different strain of something. But I've been lucky, but I don't know that I'm going to, knock on wood, I don't know that I'm going to get lucky this next go around, but we'll see. My brother had his foot in I think it was a movie theater. He had his foot in, he told the story, he had his foot in that door again where the handle's like this and you got to lift it up like that and pull. He put his foot in there, it got stuck, and somebody opened the door and his foot was stuck, and he went all the way back, fell on the floor. The worst is when you drop something that you can't throw away in the bathroom. I dropped my eyeglasses one time, and oh man, I scrubbed those things down for 15 minutes. Jason, what did you say to Gump? If Tesla gets 1,000, you can have 2 tickets and 4 Michigan tickets. And Gump says, wow, Jason, thanks, says Gump. Gump, I wouldn't believe that it's coming. Not calling you out, Jason, but I highly doubt you guys will connect and pay that debt. But Kyle Williams, I like... Let's see, one. Okay, I got to make a decision here. I'm having to pull the trigger on a couple of these guys way too early. Kyle Williams just got taken, and I definitely would have loved to have taken Kyle Williams. McMillan's got an ADP of 179, and my next pick is going to be 180, so I have to go McMillan. I'm going to cuff McMillan to Ibuka anyway. I got to go Garendo or Shador right here.
Still only have 2 QBs?
I have 3.
Oh, you got Milrow.
Yeah, Milrow.
Okay.
Let's see if Shador will fall. Let's go Garendo.
Fine.
Garendo can hit home runs. Get Jordan James later. Little Home Depot, Bed Bath & Beyond if we have time. Movie reference? Nobody? I find myself referencing movies without any response lately. I think.
I don't know. No one knows them anymore. It's kind of sad. I feel like there's not many like quotable comedy movies anymore either.
Hank the Tank.
For real.
Hank the Tank.
Yeah, I knew what it was.
Yeah. You know what I want to watch again? I haven't seen since I was like a kid. Was old or not old? That is old school, which I'm referencing. What's American Pie? Like go through the whole thing. Those were legend movies for the day. Just Stifler and all that. It was just so ahead of its time. Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, they can't make movies like that anymore because people get offended.
Yeah.
What?
You ever seen Grandma's Boy?
Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Grandma's Boy. I'll look it up.
They got Nick Swartzen.
Yeah.
All of Adam Sandler's friends, basically.
Yep.
American Pie. Guys, just in case you didn't know, in the description of the video, these new hats are it. I cracked the hat. The hat search. I've been trying to get a good hat for a while. I've got some dropship stuff, and majority of it is like this, where it's cool, it's clear, but it's it's like printed on. And even the Bucky one, which I like, I don't regret getting the Bucky one at all. But it's printed on. It's the Bucky, and then even the back part. That's it's like a flat printed on thing. But this is embroidered, so it's raised. It looks like hand sewn, embroidered, and it's got the logo on the side. It's got the logo on the back. It's got a blank side. I thought about putting something different over here. I wanted to make it timeless, though. I didn't want to put like Bucky and then something happens to Bucky 3 years from now, and then all of a sudden the hat. I thought about putting like take a lap or something on it, but I kind of like that it's clean on one side. It's got the logo over here.
I like the
logo over here. Yeah. It looks great backwards. The embroidery is on. These are all embroidered. It's not just the front's embroidered. The whole thing. Let me go 181. Let's go Pat Bryant here with Bo. I got Bo Nix. Let's go. Did Shador get taken? Who took Shador? Come on, bro. Really? Let's go with Dylan Sampson here. So these hats, and I find a lot of the young kids like snapbacks. I don't know why. I mean, I'm just not a snapback guy. And I think anybody that's like older, Travis, I know you're a baseball player. You probably like fitted hats more than. And if I'm wrong, feel free to voice your opinion.
No, actually, I like flex fit at the like when I was in high school and American Legion and then college. They all had flex fit.
A lot of baseball people like a fitted hat or flex fit more because that's what they're used to wearing all the time. So I figured you would. But I just think, you know, I just love this hat. The hat link is in the description of the video. It says get a hat like Smitty's in the description of the video. Here is also the link to it where you could also find the Supernova shirt, which I'll be adding a Supernova. There's the link right there if you want to buy this hat. And it's $34. I'm not trying to make a bunch of money on it at all. I just, to have it embroidered and to have it embroidered in 3 different spots. Like, again, this is not like some sort of like flat sticker sewn or heat sealed on or something. This is an embroidery, or you could say like individually sewn, if you want. Actually, you know, I mean, it's definitely sewn. If embroidery is not even the right word, but it's raised and it's really, really solid. And even the small logo on the back is pretty damn clear. It's pretty awesome. The logo is kind of complex too. You know, my logo is not exactly the easiest thing to print for people because of the headphone pieces being. So this is, I would say, instead of embroidered, I would say, well, is embroidered sewn? Is that sewing?
Yeah, the same thing, right?
You know, I don't know if embroidered means like it's an actual like raised patch put on, but I think it just means sewn, right? Let's ask Ziggy. Hold on. Or Kruger, is a hat? What's embroidery mean for like a hat? Could it be a sewing machine essentially?
Yeah, exactly. Embroidery on a hat means the design or logo is stitched directly onto the fabric.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like using a sewing machine with a special needle to create the pattern. This gives it a durable, high-quality look and feel.
He got so excited. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so this is embroidered. It's all raised. All 3 logos are. All 3 logos are. It just, I've never been more excited about a hat. I literally cannot tell you how excited I was when this came. I was questioning it. I was sitting here going, okay, I'll order another one. I keep ordering, you know, making them online, and keeping in mind that like it's not easy as a content creator to, let's see, what round are we in? Krosky Merritt. I haven't drafted Krosky Merritt yet in the Superflexes. I got Krosky Merritt. It's not like
boy.
As a YouTuber, you got to choose a company that makes these that can integrate with YouTube and these different, you know, platforms. So you're not necessarily given any company you know, like somebody's going to DM me or email me, and 50 people are going to be like, hey, my buddy used my printing service. And I appreciate that, but I'm trying to find one within the world that works for my platforms. And this one is fantastic. This one, I almost didn't do it. I'm like, I'm done trying to make hats. And we should be one. There should be one with the Attic as well. The one that the Attic made, that they were supposed to put a link up, and I think they eventually will. This one's cool too. I'm not gonna lie. This one is an actual patch. So, and then this is printed on though. So this is printed on like the other hats. It's not raised at all. It's not sewn. It's just like a ironed on, you know, but it's cool. Look, I mean, it feels good. It doesn't look cheap or anything. But this patch is pretty cool. It's an actual heat, you know, glued on with a heat gun patch. It's not bad. This is not a bad hat. I like it. And we're working on one that might look even better than that with the attic. That's, you know, one. But this hat, I'm gonna buy like 15 of them. It's just in case you know they don't make them anymore. Like, sorry, we don't do hats anymore. I want to have just a boatload of them. The color I got here is a dark. I think this is the dark gray. But I'm so excited about this hat. Have I made that clear? Have I made it abundantly clear yet? What is that noise? Does everybody? I know the phone line can hear it, but does everybody watching the show hear that clicking on the phone line, or is that only on my side? I hope it's only on my side.
I hear it.
But do you hear it on the show, or you just hear it on the phone line? Because there's a guy saying you guys could hear it.
Phone line.
Yeah, chat. Can you answer if you can hear it? The clicking is like every 10 seconds. It's like. Can we get a hat with Hendon Hooker and a question mark that says Gump? Maybe. Click. I hear it. Click. Hey, Rock Out. Can you hang up real quick and see? Let's see if it continues. And call back. I'm gonna get you guys off the phone line here in a minute anyway. Actually, you know what? I'm probably just gonna clear the phone line anyway. Rock Out. Do you have anything else for the night? And then I'll have you hang up and Travis stay, and I want to see if the clicking goes away. And then if it doesn't, then we know it's not Rock Out's phone.
You got any thoughts on Downs with the Colts?
I like him about as much as I like him about as much as I like. That's a good question. Honestly, I'm gonna go Malik Willis here, like I didn't last time.
Yeah.
Tight end, I'm gonna go Noah Gray because I have Kelsey. I'm gonna go Fannin. Fannin's my boy, Blue. All right. I'm sorry. What was the question, Rock Out? Click is back.
About Downs from the Colts.
Oh, Downs. Yeah, I like him about as much as.
Like, sure what range he's at.
I like him ahead of like Yoshi Voss, but I like him a lot less than a player. Someone says Shakir. I mean, Shakir should get more volume, so I'd like Shakir a little more. Yeah. If we go to this draft board and I just kind of look around at what receivers, Addison higher, Juwan Jennings higher, Jaden Reed higher. There's Josh Downs right in the middle of the screen, so that's where his ADP is. Higgins, I could see Higgins and Josh Downs having the same value. I like Luther Burden by a country mile. I like Buka by a country mile. Trey Harris, I could see that argument. Keon Coleman, I like Keon Coleman more by quite a bit. I like Downs more than Rashad Bateman. I like Downs more than Alec Pierce. All right, Rock Out. It's getting bad. Hang up and let's see if it works, and I'll see you tomorrow, bro.
All right.
All right. Let's see if it goes away. It probably won't. Maybe it's Travis's phone. I do kind of notice it more when Travis.
I know. I muted and then put it on the stream, and I could hear it on the stream. So if it's my phone, it's happening when I'm muted too.
There's a little fuzz. There's a little fuzz that happened, but it wasn't the click. So there's a fuzz. It's like, but it's not a. I'm on the clock here. I don't hear it anymore. Rock Out. I think you might be your phone has a lot of background noise. I don't know if you're fumbling with
phone
it.
tap.
Yeah, it sounds like your phone's tapped. Oh man, I only have one option to get a tight end here. What do I do here? I'm on the clock. I got Kelsey. Do I just back him up with Noah Gray in the Schnauzer? This is the final pick in a slow Schnauzer draft. Or do I grab a different tight end like Fannin? Oh, their clicking's back, Travis. Damn it.
Really?
I don't know what. But let me just see. Yeah, I even see it on my system audio. It just goes. What is that? Crazy. Do I go Gray and then have a tight end guaranteed for the most part every single week but one, or do I take Fannin and risk maybe worse? I don't know.
I mean, if you're okay just risking the 1 week, go Gray.
Theo Johnson's there. Okonkwo's there. Jatavian Sanders is there. Arroyo is there. Conklin. Fannin, Higbee. Chat, what do you think here? Kind of feel like someone said Travis is the problem. I might have someone call in, and it's not like he's meaning to do it if he is, but part of me wants to. Ron celebrates 35 months as a member. Wow. About to hit 3 years already. Time flies, says Ron. That's crazy, Ron. I don't know. I guess with Ron,
there was a bunch of membership messages, okay. I think.
Let me read those. Can someone else call in real quick, and then let's hang up on Travis to end the show and see if it goes away. Just so I know that it's the phone line and not any one person's phone. Ron Navy dropping a $20 holler on his celebratory moment right here.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Thank you, Ron Navy. Wow, about to hit 3 years already. Time flies. Thank you, Ron, for dropping the super chat. Ron himself is going to call in and see if this problem is related to one person or not. Travis, you got anything else before I boot you off? Ron, appreciate the super chat.
Yep. No, I'm good. I appreciate it, Smitty.
All right. Later, bro. Bye. Appreciate you. Congrats, Ron. Again, like I always tell you, it seems like 35 months is long for one moment, and then I realize it seems like it's been longer. Like at the same time.
Yeah. I can remember when I was all excited at hitting 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost 36. Crazy.
I don't hear the
That
noise.
flies.
Anybody hear the noise anymore? We thought that it went away when Rock Out left, and then it came back. So far, I don't hear it. Let me add this caller one second. Oh, he hung up. Ron, what do you think I should do? Yeah, someone else call in. Let's see if it triggers something. It could be a weird variable. But Ron, should I go with Kelsey and Gray and run the risk of not run the risk, have no tight end for one guaranteed week? Or do I pick a Fannin Jr. or somebody and risk maybe even having no tight end at all for more than 1 week, or having a guy that can rotate all year long in Fannin?
Well, it's like you always say, 1 week doesn't kill you.
Yeah, let's go Gray.
Best ball.
I'm pretty sure that noise came back. And this slow puppy draft that I joined a while ago before. Hold on, let me add this caller. All right, we've got this caller on the phone from the 310. What's your name?
This is AT&T.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Hi.
AT&T, and I'm just calling to check on your service.
The service is great. Thank you.
Okay.
Who is this?
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Thank you, AT&T.
I can't really hear you. It's really weird.
All right, well, thank you for checking.
Okay, bye.
Is there anything else you got? Any fantasy advice over at AT&T?
I have a lot. So I'll call back another day with that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for testing it.
Good
I don't
night.
hear the clicking. Thank you. I don't hear the clicking. I don't know who that was. I don't know if that
I
was.
don't hear it now either.
That was. It might have been Aaron, actually. It might have been Aaron in the chat. Okay. I didn't hear it. Travis, call back in. Let's see if Travis can reignite it. And then we'll know for sure.
Reignite the click.
And it could be a weird variable, like when there's a certain amount of number of people on the phone line, and then you trickle it down back to 1, and it goes away. Like, there's so many things that could happen. So, Travis, if you're there, I guess dial in. Genty, Kyron, Garrett Wilson on the clock.
Maybe Travis got out of the bathroom and the echo went away and he started to click. Now he's part of the click.
Maybe. Kittle. Do I go Harvey here in the middle of 4 or JD5? Let's go Harvey.
Ooh, that's tough.
I mean, I
85 won't make it back.
But, you know, I definitely will get Mahomes. So, I do that all the time. Let's go. In this draft, I'll go Harvey.
So what we taught in my Superflex league, I did pick up Finnan, and then I had to wait, and then I picked up Merritt and ended it with because I had 3 draft picks in the 4th round, late 4th round, and I picked up Bond just as a flyer, just as a. He's got to get signed by somebody. He gets cleared. You heard he's filing a counter lawsuit for
who?
Financial losses. Because
who
of
is?
This. Bond.
Oh, Isaiah Bond. I don't blame him. Good for Bond.
Yeah.
Good for Bond. Bond was a second-round wide receiver. He still does not have a team and went undrafted. And you know what? I'll take it back if he's guilty, but like he's innocent until proven guilty, unless they've got some sort of evidence that is like indisputable. You know, I am just one that would lean a little bit toward understanding that, but like I don't know.
Thing that we know it happened, and the thing is he went and turned himself in right away when the allegation. He says, "I'm here," and then he's fighting it through the court system. So he's doing it the right way, and you know, so. But it did cost him draft status. It cost him money, and he filed a countersuit against his accuser. And he says it's all a bunch of bull.
Bond is
so he's not.
Bond is a top 5 wide receiver from this draft class. I mean, if I was a team, I would grab him immediately. You could. I wonder if you could even. Wonder if you could even put in a contract, Ron, where you say, if you're guilty of any of these things, it will void your contract. I bet you anything you could do something similar to that. I haven't heard the click yet, but like one time. Travis, call in real quick if you can. Let's just see if it. And it might not be Travis's fault.
He said he heard a click now.
I mean,
in the chat, Travis says, I'm only going to type when I hear a click now.
Oh, okay. I'm only going to type when I hear a click. Okay. I've heard it a couple times, but it might be. Ron, move your phone around in your hand real quickly.
My hand?
Just move the phone around a little bit.
It is. I am now. It was stationary, but
yeah, there's nothing bigger in a click. I did hear it though. Travis is right. It happened a couple times, but barely. I just want to know if you're not available, Travis. No worries, but I would like to test it and see. And we thought it was Travis another time.
Travis is always available.
We thought it was Travis or Rock Out or both of them another time, and ended up not being. We know Rock Out's phone has a reverb like a madman. And part of me wonders if that triggers it and it doesn't go away until it's down to one. We don't even know. There's so many different variables at play. All right, Ron, I'll see you later, bro. I'm going to call it a night. I've done 2 drafts. We've been here for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Anything else? Appreciate the super chat.
Nothing concerning fantasy, but if you got some time, hit me up, DM me.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, later.
Ron Navy. 31-month membership question. JJ McCarthy to the moon. Sick Nasty isn't letting up. He refuses to let up. Smitty is the GOAT. Catch him in it. Heath, thank you, B-Men. Appreciate you. What type of players are we trading for 100 fab? That's a good question we didn't really tackle a ton. I would say That's kind of a case-by-case situation. You know, you'd almost have to tell me who you have, but an example would be you got an extra tight end, you got an extra quarterback, Shaheed, a Javante, a Pittman Jr., a potential Tyrone Tracy, a Cooper Kupp, Pacheco even maybe. You know, that I'm not saying that could backfire, but it also might, he might be down to zero. Josh Downs, who we talked about earlier. You know, you start getting in like some of those guys going like round 9 or 10 in a redraft, you know. So there's definitely some potential ability, but you know, maybe second rounders, maybe multiple second rounders. Some people might laugh at that and say you shouldn't give multiple second rounders for, and some people might say I wouldn't do it. So I don't know. I don't think he'd give up a first round or anything like that. You don't get crazy, but extra quarterbacks, extra tight end. You know what makes more sense though, KB, is this in getting involved in a bigger trade. I don't think I've ever just gone after Fab. I think what I do, and it's a good question then to bring this up, is I'm trading like I'll give you an example. Like maybe I'm trying to get Bucky and I give up, or how about Harvey? I trade Hampton for Harvey, who I like Harvey as much, at least, and I get him to give me the 100 Fab. You know, there's a player you like, then you're moving down from pick 2 to pick 3 in the rookie draft. Or let's say let's say you've got Lamar and they've got Mahomes, and you're like, I like Mahomes better long term and for the now. I do. You might call me crazy. It's fine. Then I'm making that trade and getting 100 Fab. Sure. Like things like that. I think it's more so in a bigger deal than anything else. I appreciate your super chat, KB. Blackbeard says, don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you for using your celebratory message. Man, all these celebratory messages tonight. Fired up for the season. The season's fired up for you, Snoopy. Roger says, Drake League traded my 1.9, 1.12 for the 1.3 today. That is straight thievery. And Overcome says, Fantasy Football Show, thanks. I would buy yo. Are you mean the hat? Is that what you mean? Go check out the hat. Hat is in the description. There's a link. And the link is also right here. I believe I still have it. Yep, that's it. That's the link for the hat. Also the Supernova shirt. I think there's different, you know, types of shirts you can get there too. But go check it out. Supernova shirt. Get the hat. The hat is unbelievable. I love this thing. I've never made a hat I've loved. I've made a hat I've liked. I've never made a hat I've loved. And I didn't make this, but I mean, it's everything, the design, the company, the embroidery. It's embroidered here. It's embroidered here. And it's embroidered on the back. And the logo is really clear. It's raised. It's sewn in. I mean, they just did a phenomenal job. I was very skeptical. And oh, by the way, you could also get this. It's the pinned item in the YouTube video. So I have this. You know, you can get this from my YouTube channel. Just from my YouTube channel, click on store, or in the video you'll see the products. Click the product; it'll be right there. I've already pinned it. Appreciate all of you dropping super chats. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you, Travis. Are you there? One last call. If you're not, don't worry about it. But I just want to test it one more time. Sometimes it's just a weird combination of things. Another great show in chat. Thank you, Matt Huff. I'll see you all on the Patreon. You know how we do it on the Patreon. This is the Patreon link. It's a live chat environment. After this ends, Travis is usually on there. He's always helping out on the Patreon, as is helping out everywhere else. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, Sick Nasty. I see you in the building. Blackbeard, Space Ricky. My moderators. Travis, Blackbeard, Sick Nasty, Space Ricky, DeVault, Kenny Powers, Terry Roberts, Vampy, Double A. I think that's all of them. I appreciate all my mods. All right, see you all on the Patreon. $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Live chat group. The same live group you see here, you see over on the Patreon. I'll be over on the Patreon right now. And don't forget to subscribe to the Fantasy Football Unplugged. Fantasy Football Unplugged is in the chat, in the description of the video as well. All the Dynasty content is now on the main channel, will be on the main channel going forward. So there's no need to worry about the Dynasty content being on the Dynasty channel. The Dynasty channel is converted over to Fantasy Football Unplugged, which if you're subscribed to the Dynasty channel, or what was the Dynasty channel, you're subscribed to this because the name changed. And if you're not, make sure you subscribe. Link in the description. This will be the behind the scenes, the after hour calls from Denny, me deciding on what content to do, problem solving things for the brand, talking about stupid things like Aaron Rodgers and how it's wasting my time, and watching me go to Disneyland and literally think I'm going to go live on Aaron Rodgers like every minute. Just a lot of stuff like that. The Unplugged is going to be a very, very fun look. It's like a Dog the Bounty Hunter meets Keeping Up with the Smitties. And it'll be a way for me to creatively vent as well, kind of in a way, just a vlog type of thing. You're going to love it, I promise. And all the intern shows will release on here. So the sitcom that I have, it's called Fantasy Football Intern. That will air on Unplugged, and more episodes to come on that. Follow me on Instagram. Rumble will eventually get back into the saddle. Don't forget thefantasyfootballshow.com. All your content needs, rankings, bold predictions, articles. Patreon.com/thefantasyfootballshow, and on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, The Fantasy Football Show. Basically, The Fantasy Football Show everywhere, except for Fantasy Football Unplugged. See you all tomorrow. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Every single Monday through Friday. Live at midnight Eastern, almost every night. And additionally live whenever big news breaks.